discovering mysteries, surprising discoveries in the Euphrates River. The world is no stranger to surprising discoveries, and recently, biologists in Zealand stumbled upon a hidden treasure of new species deep in a crack. However, a much more chilling revelation has emerged from the setback of the waters of the Euphrates River, a revelation that has left researchers and locals astonished and scared. As the riverbed continues to dry up, long-buried secrets have begun to emerge from the surface. Among them is a shocking discovery that challenges both science and mythology. Hidden under layers of sediment and time, researchers discovered what appeared to be the skeletal remains of a colossal creature resembling a snake. The structure of its skull, the curvature of its spine, and the magnitude of its bones suggested that it was not an ordinary animal. Some scientists initially theorized that it could be the remains of an extinct snake or a prehistoric marine reptile. However, as the excavation progressed, peculiar characteristics began to emerge that resembled the mythical dragons mentioned in ancient folklore. Could this be evidence that legendary beasts once wandered the earth? Or this discovery carries an even more sinister message? Dragons have been woven for a long time in the mythologies of various cultures, often represented as fearsome entities, whether they are divine executors, guardians of forbidden knowledge, or heralds of destruction. Many civilizations believed that dragons symbolized chaos, and their presence often meant a moment of settling accounts. The moment of this discovery is intriguing. The Euphrates River has played a vital role in history and religious prophecy for centuries. Some believe that the appearance of this skeletal giant is not a coincidence. Could this be a sign, a warning that ancient prophecies are unfolding before our eyes? But the exhumed skeleton was just the beginning. A creature lurks underwater. Locals who live near the river have reported something much more disturbing, a huge and dark figure lurking just below the surface of the water. Although it never emerged completely, the powerful waves it created caused chills in those who witnessed it. Its movements were unnatural, as if something ancient and restless had been disturbed. Some described having heard deep and guttural growls that resonated from the depths, sounds they had never found. These chilling reports have fueled speculation that the creature could be none other than the Leviathan, the monstrous sea snake described in biblical texts. Hobbes' book paints a terrifying image of the Leviathan. You can catch the Leviathan with a hook or tie his tongue with a rope. You can pass a rope through his nose or pierce his jaw with a hook. Hobbes 41, 1-2 described as an indomitable force with scales like armor and the ability to spit fire. The Leviathan has long been considered a metaphor for chaos or a lost species from an ancient world. But what if the Leviathan was not just a myth? What happens if it is real and has resurfaced? The writings of Isaiah 27:1 also suggest a chilling prophecy. On that day, the Lord will punish the Leviathan, the snake that flees, and the Leviathan, the twisted snake, and will kill the dragon that is in the sea. Could it be that the Leviathan is not a single creature, but a force that reappears in times of great agitation? Some believe that the appearance of supernatural beings, whether angels, demons, or hidden creatures, is a divine warning. If this beast really lurks within the Euphrates, what message does its presence bring? Buried relics, mummified crocodiles, and ancient mysteries. The Euphrates is not the only river that reveals surprising secrets. Near the banks of the Jordan River, archaeologists recently discovered a shocking discovery: mummified crocodiles, disturbingly preserved by nature itself. These huge reptiles, some with intact heads and others with whole bodies dry and fossilized, may have been part of ancient rituals or funerary practices. A particularly fascinating find were the fossilized remains of Conrosus serenus, a species of crocodile known as the killer of broken dinosaurs. These formidable reptiles lived approximately 95 million years ago and measured between 6 and 11.5 feet long. The discovery of their preserved remains has led scientists to rethink their theories about the evolution and extinction of crocodiles. Giant anaconda, a terrifying encounter. While exploring the Euphrates, a group of tourists came across a show that made their hearts beat faster: a huge anaconda. While his boat was approaching the shore, they noticed that the snake was curling up motionless among the reeds. One of the men, in a reckless movement, hit the creature with a paddle. That was a mistake. The huge snake, already alert, moved its huge mass, revealing a swollen belly, possibly due to a recent meal. What followed was an intense moment of suspense. Instead of withdrawing, the tour guide, driven by a curiosity that sought strong emotions, grabbed the snake's tail and dragged it closer to the boat. Tourists watched horrified as the beast twisted and twisted before finally sliding into the water. Snakes have long had a symbolic meaning in various cultures, often associated with deception and danger. From the snake in the Garden of Eden, Genesis 3:1, to the vipers found by the Apostle Paul in Malta, Acts 28:3, have been represented as cunning and deadly throughout history. The river doll, a creepy relic or something else? Not all discoveries in the Euphrates River are monstrous in size. Some are small but equally disturbing. Recently, treasure hunters looking for artifacts stumbled upon something unexpected. A doll with a peculiar look submerged in the water. At first, they were not sure if it was a simple toy or a carved idol. The disturbing craftsmanship and the strange expression on its face left them restless. Could it have been part of an ancient ritual? Some believe it could be cursed and link it to forbidden practices such as voodoo. The Bible warns against such practices in Deuteronomy 18:9-14, by prohibiting witchcraft, divination, and communication with spirits. Was this doll an harmless relic, or does it have a darker history? Human bones and remains of mammoth, traces of an ancient past. Perhaps the most chilling discovery so far was made by a group of explorers along the banks of the Euphrates. Scattered by the dry bed of the river, they found human bones, jaws with teeth still intact, femurs, and even a pelvis. The stunning vision raised disturbing questions. Who were these people? How did they end up here? More exhaustive investigations revealed that the Euphrates was once used as a burial site. In the 19th century, prisoners who succumbed to diseases were buried in the depths of the muddy bed of the river. Over time, the erosion and setback of the water exposed their forgotten remains a long time ago. But that's not all. Nearby, another surprising find arose: huge bones belonging to an extinct mammoth a long time ago. Scientists estimate that the remains are at least 11,000 years old, possibly even more. Another skeleton, found a few kilometers away, dated 14,000 years ago and seemed to belong to the mastodon elephant, an ancient relative of the current elephants. A final reflection: are we witnessing history or prophecy? From giant and leviathan serpents to mummified crocodiles and stunning relics, the discoveries in the Euphrates raise more questions than answers. Could these findings be warnings of the past or point to something even greater, something biblical? As the river continues to dry up and reveal its secrets, one thing remains true: history speaks to us. Are we ready to listen? What do you think of these discoveries? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Ancient discoveries and biblical connections explorers have unearthed a remarkable find: an ancient stone knife, suggesting that this mammoth in particular was not simply a victim of nature, but an objective of human hunters. This discovery adds weight to the theory that the first humans coexisted with these huge creatures, hunting them down to survive.